Always give 110%. Leave it all out on the field. There's no I in team. And never go in against a Sicilian when death is on the line. These are some cliches we've been hearing all our lives. Well, this year I was inspired to use some more classic sayings and mantras to frame the predictions as I give a brief breakdown of each team. The breakdowns will be stated in draft order from 1 to 12. Without any further ado, I bring you the 2019 Annual Predictions, the Cliché Edition. Defense wins championships. Having won the 2018 Losers Bracket, Frankie went with the consensus top pick, Saquon Barkley. He then followed up that pick with other solid picks like Dalvin Cook, Keenan Allen, and Drew Brees. The picks of Cooper Kupp and Phillip Lindsay have risk, but still represent solid moves at the 4-5 swing. But not only did Frank take the first player, he also took the first DST and consensus top unit, the Chicago Bears. Will his move pay dividends? How the fuck should I know? I can't predict the future. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Bobby. This SOB has won the league twice, so we know he has access to draft prep materials. Access clearly isn't enough because he obviously didn't use any. He took Ezekiel Elliott and AJ Green in the first 4 rounds. Oh, and let's not forget Frankenfoot Antonio Brown in the second. But hey, he was the first person to complete his whole starting roster after taking his kicker in round 10 and his DST right after. Oh, and he also has 3 quarterbacks. If this were a 2 QB or a Superflex league, I'd be scared. But it isn't, so I'm not. We love you, Bobby, as long as the check clears. You can't always get what you want. 4 straight times I got sniped by Phil with picks right before mine in rounds 6, 8, 10, and 12. The worst was Tevin Coleman in the 6th, but it seemed like he just kept on grabbing the guys I wanted. Fucker. Still, the leftovers weren't too bad. So, while I managed to fend off the temptation to take a defense in round 11, I still managed to field a respectable team. Out of sight, out of mind. As I mentioned, Phil managed to snatch away several players I was eyeing. So, yeah, obviously I like his team. But it's a good thing he wasn't actually present at the draft, or I would have somehow snuck some cigar ash in his drink. As it was, he assembled a contending unit from afar. Prick. A day late and $1 short. Speaking of sniping, apparently I managed to nab some of Maddie's guys. I thought about saying something snarky, but instead I'll simply say that I'm always willing to field trade offers. Nah, that just doesn't feel right. Tough shit, bitch! Ah, much better. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Brian, all bow to his greatness, took the high-risk, high-reward approach. Taking David Johnson over Chubb, Connor, and Mixon was a minor gamble, which he then backed up with perhaps the surest thing at wide receiver in Michael Thomas. But then he took more gambles with holdout Melvin Gordon, pothead Josh Gordon, and rookie quarterback Kyler Murray, though Murray sits behind Deshaun Watson. Days after the draft, he released Buffalo cast-off LaShawn McCoy, who I immediately scooped up as the last man on my roster. Then, wham! McCoy reunites with Andy Reid in Kansas City for $4 million, practically ensuring a useful role on the league's top offense. Thanks, BGB. We're halfway done, boys. Hope you're enjoying things so far. There's no substitute for experience. While Brian went for high-risk, high-reward players, Chris played it safer by taking players with name recognition. His team has the most players over 30 years of age. 6, to be precise. Julian Edelman, Delaney Walker, Big Ben, AP, Kirk Cousins, and the ghost of Jimmy Graham are all past their prime. Hell, he even took the DST of one of the NFL's oldest franchises, Green Bay. Receiving honorable mention is Jordan Reed, who, at 29, has missed over 30 games in 6 seasons. 30. There's that number again. But hey, Chris has a thing for cougars, so I guess it makes sense. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Once again, Tommy made the trek up the East Coast to join us live for the draft. We all love seeing you, T, especially me, so thank you for coming. And damn, aside from using a rookie tight end and the Jets DST, which I assume you'll be streaming, there aren't any soft spots in your lineup. Like the majority of us, there is some softness around the belly, but not your roster. Oh, and if you're experiencing softness in, other areas, I know a guy. There are plenty of fish in the sea. Poor Rich. Irony struck twice on draft day. Not only did he have Mark Irish, a name that should scream good fortune, pick his team, but within hours of being drafted as the 16th player overall, Andrew Luck decided to retire. Clearly, all of Richie's luck was bad, as is the outlook for his team. He did manage to get Mitch Trubisky as a free agent, but it's likely he'll be fishing for quarterback talent all season long. And then there were 3. It's better to be lucky than good. Casey is desperately hoping his luck will be better than Rich's, because he's going to need a shit ton of it. Let me start by saying that in a 12-team, 16-round draft, there are 192 picks that are made. Well, Casey decided to go for some deep, and I mean deep sleepers, starting in the 9th round. He took Danny Amendola there. No, seriously, he did. The same Danny Amendola that has an ADP of 271. Well, with the injury to Miller and the retirement of Luck, maybe he moved up into the high 260 range. But at least he shored up that dubious pick with fellow wide receiver Randall Cobb in the 13th. Incidentally, Cobb's ADP is 234. In case you forgot, 12 teams, 16 rounds, 192 picks. I think you get the picture. Brains over brawn. With what is decidedly the most predictable cliche, Gator's calculating mind is the focus of this breakdown. But hey, when you draft the handcuff to one of your running backs, and the starter happens to be the only offensive player to suffer a season-ending injury in the preseason, intelligence and planning show. Add to that the savvy move of taking Travis Kelce in the first round, and we're looking at a fucking genius. Duh. Everyone loves an underdog. Being stuck in the 12th hole is a bitch, but somehow Anthony manages to thrive every time he gets a late pick. This year he did it by picking his starting position players with his first 7 picks. In position, not pick order, they are Baker Mayfield, Chris Carson, Derrick Henry, Julio Jones, Odell Beckham, Robbie Anderson, and Zach Ertz. That's a scary lineup from a guy who's always a playoff contender. Time to wrap things up with the predictions. This time, I'll do them in 3 groups: in, out, and contender. The in crowd consists of the 2 bookend drafters, Frankie and Anthony. I guess they used all that time between picks wisely. Those on the outs are Casey, hey, you got your wish, bud. Bob, shocking. And Rich, you gotta be in it to win it, buddy. Everyone else resides in the contender section. That means 7 teams for 4 spots. Let me throw a little sexy on this. The competition is gonna be stiff and hot. Too weird? Fuck it. Until next time.